everybody. I'm hoping you can hear me. I got these earbuds in, and I'm hoping that it works. But listen, I am super excited. Just let me know if there's actual audio coming through on this. I'm not 100% sure, but let me know. But I'm super excited today. Guys, this is going to be a great video. This is one of those interviews where it's so important for so many people. And I'm just going to jump right into it with Jodie right now, hitting the approve.
Hello. I can't hear you now. I could at first, but I can't hear you now for some reason. Can you hear me? Can't hear you. Let me see. Maybe it's my settings.
There we go. No, it's me. It's me. It's my stupid.
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you. But it's weird because at the beginning, when you were speaking at the very start, I could hear you perfectly. But as soon as I was on, I couldn't hear you. But anyways, I'm excited to be here. How's it going?
Oh, it's so awesome. We've been planning this for weeks, literally. So I'm so glad.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Me too. I'm excited to chat. I like your background. It's nice and green. It makes me happy.
I love a good green screen. I do some game streaming every now and then, and so it's one of those things. So that's what happens when you have a background in media. Like you end up with like all of this media stuff in your house. And my wife just rolls her eyes.
I love it. My husband's like that too, so it's okay. So I like it, but no, that's cool.
Jodie, I'm so glad you're here. You're going to help so many people in my network like overcome their fear and their doubt about what they can do in this industry, because I know you don't know, we don't know each other very well. We've just chatted a little bit on Facebook, but yeah. My wife and I were foster parents, and we adopted two kids with special needs, like real serious special needs. And it's been insane. It's amazing. Right? And, we were involved in network marketing for a long time. We had built a big business, but then once we started that process and then had to go through doctor appointments, therapy sessions, late nights, no sleep, all that stuff, our business fell apart. And so we've had to find a new way to build business and how to put that together. And we have a large network of people who are in the same boat, maybe aren't involved in network marketing, but don't realize that it's a valuable tool for people with illnesses, with just sort of a crazy lifestyle. And I know that you come from that background too. And I want you to share a little bit about that, just real briefly, about some of the issues that you've had to overcome and why you are where you are now.
Sure, yeah. And brief for me is like impossible, but I'll try and be brief. I'm like, you know me, but no, so I grew up like a normal life, and you don't really think about a plan B until you have no other choice. So whether it's your kids that get sick, you get sick, a family member, a spouse, whoever it is, and it might not even be sick, it could be job loss or whatever, but just for myself, and in your case, that's what it was. So I was in dental hygiene doing a normal thing and started getting really sick. My hands would shake a little bit, and it kept drastically getting worse to the point I wasn't able to work a regular job. So like you, I looked into network marketing and found a company, and I liked it and stuff, but like I was always working. So for me being sick, it wasn't, I was working from home, but like I didn't have time freedom, and it was really stressful, right? So I deal with, like I have, at the time it was basically getting really dizzy, fainting, shaking, things like that. They didn't know, with low blood pressure dropping, things like that. So of course, doctor's appointments, which means tons of money, which means tons of traveling. So like, there's no way you can work a regular job when you go through that. On top of that, you go through, reschedules of everything because, you might have a fever too bad for this test that was planned. So then the next one can't be the next one. So like a regular job literally is out the window, even a part-time job or a casual job, because it's not like you're predicting when you're going to be sick.
Right.
And then fast forward, when I was pregnant with my first daughter, it was extremely rough. And we found out that she had like some special needs needed during pregnancy. So we had ultrasounds every 2 days. Every 48 hours. And we live in a little town, so you're waiting in like a clinic hallway where all these sick people are like walking by back and forth every day for like hours for your ultrasounds. It's things people don't really think about, right?
Oh, right.
And then fast forward now, like long story short, I have two girls. One that has sleep apnea, and I mean, she went through, like, she was in Children's Hospital in London for a couple weeks. She was in the hospital here for a few days or a week or something. And so of testing, and on top of that, though, what lots of people don't think about until you have children or you go through it yourself is the emotional and mental state that it gives to you, right? Like, you don't realize how much it affects you not sleeping. You don't realize, like, seeing your kids getting all these tests done to them where they're screaming their face off. One example is my husband and I got food poisoning the night of my daughter's testing in the hospital. I'm not joking. You couldn't make this up. And we ordered pizza. Got food poisoning. They put a thing on our door thinking we had like gastro. So my mother-in-law and all them are in taking care of my kid while she's getting like needles in her head and her feet and all these tests done. And like, it's, so you don't think of that aspect of it, right? So then there's that of being a mom. And then fast forward, I was pregnant a second time, and I guess like it made these tumors that I have in my liver start to grow. That's what they think it was. They never really know. So during pregnancy, I had a seizure and basically had to go through additional stuff. So during this time, I was working my other business, or trying to. I was making like, you know, six-figure, really good income, but like I'm stressing out as I'm in the hospital, looking at my phone, telling my husband, you've got to figure this out because there's no system in place, right? And then now that daughter was coming out. They think this is why, but she came out. Was coming out head first or face first. So they kind of had to push her back in, which sounds weird. And we're not exactly sure what happened, but it's either that or just developmentally, her neck was like, I guess, squished. And so she has what's called laryngomalacia. So it's just another big term, but with that's not, again, not an extreme special need case, like say in your own or Val's, like we talked about yesterday, but it's all things that take a toll on you when you're trying to be a regular person. On top of that, I have all my medical appointments, right? So basically, I had no choice to find something that not only I could do from home, not only that I could bring in income, but that literally had a system in place where I could, you know, have money coming in while I'm sleeping and actually have a system working. Because so many businesses, so many places, so many things say they have that, right? But it's not. We have a system like McDonald's, like a franchise. Like if somebody from McDonald's calls in sick, they're not closing McDonald's down. They keep making money and the system keeps going, right? So that's what I look at with our virtual franchise. It's completely different than what I did before. But what I did before did not allow me to be able to take care of my family and myself and be healthy and get better. So that's my short answer.
That's
for
so
you.
good. You nailed it. That is so good. Like, okay, so let's talk. Let's get into it a little bit. Like, let's get into the nuts and bolts and bring the heat a little bit. What were you struggling with? In you said you were a six-figure income in your last business. What were you struggling with? Like with here's the thing. Every company says we have a system, right?
Of course.
Everybody says they have a system, and the reality is yes, they have something of a system, but not all systems are created equal. Okay. So what was it that you were struggling with particularly at that time in your last business?
There's two major things. One was, like we talked about, the business aspect itself. I could make, you know, I was literally making up to like $45,000 a check. And I couldn't help somebody make over $2,000. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing. So yeah, the system's in place for me, but I don't want to get rich and sit here and have all these people that I care about. Like, you're literally, when you're doing network marketing, especially that time, because it was product based then, like, these are people you care about that you're going to. So you want to be able to confidently say, like, look, I can show you this. We have a system, da, da, da. And I couldn't. Like, it's like, yeah, I could show them, like, yeah, I'm making this money. But if they ever said to me, God forbid, like, let me see what your downline's making, I would have hit. But now it's like when I got on the phone with Tanya and Tyler and stuff, it's the very first thing they talked about is what person after person is able to do in a 12-month period or whatever you want, right? Rather than that. So that was one thing major, that a system would be working for me when I wasn't there. So what I mean by that is I have exponential growth. So like I basically, as you know, we have like a 2-tier thing. I was in a uni level for anybody that knows the terminology, but essentially I have 2 teams rather than, and there's one of my buddies, she knows what I'm talking about. I had 19 teams with my previous company. So like you enroll somebody, it's like, well, today I guess this person's my friend and they're going to get a person on their team, and you can't really help people, right?
Right. Yep.
With us, with Binary, we have two. So I literally called Tyler, my enroller, and said, am I missing something? So like I could help like everybody on my team, like everybody I put on, like it doesn't cut off when I get to like 7 generations. It doesn't stop when this person enrolls 2 people. Like I could actually help people. Like I was mind blown. I thought, no, there's got to be a catch. What do you mean? I could put 2 people on 2 people. It doesn't make sense, right?
Yep.
So that side of it, the other side, with which a lot of people, myself included, never thought that I needed. And I'm not a cocky person, I'm blunt, but not cocky where I'm arrogant or have an ego or anything like that. But I didn't see mentorship as something that, like, yeah, okay, I would watch like E.T. or I would watch like Tony Robbins, and I love it, don't get me wrong, and they're amazing. But like true mentorship, I didn't really think like in a business or owning a franchise, you really need that. So then when I see a little glimpse compared now to before, I'll give you one quick example. We went to our very first event. Myself, Tori, my friends flew in from like Montreal on my team, like just all over the place. We're so excited, all these newbies, and we get to Toronto. We all fly in, we go to this event, it's at a pub, okay? So you picture like this pub, we all know pubs, we're all whatever age. So we wear like leggings and whatever, I can't even remember, like, you know, and flats and whatever. And we go there and we're so excited, and we get pulled aside and told that like we're not following the dress code for our company and we're not representing them properly, and that we should really be embarrassed. And these are our mentors pulling us aside in front of everybody telling us this. So I mean, and then compared to Rick Gutman, who walks into, I had an event like, you know, last week,
right,
who walks into an event with over 100 people with his hat on backwards, mesh shorts, and an Overcome Nation t-shirt. Like, you know, because it doesn't matter what they're doing, it matters what they're pouring into you. So what I was doing every day in my old company was, and Yana knows, and I was pouring into everybody, constantly pouring in, constantly pouring in. And every single month you have to be finding new people, finding new people, finding new people. So it's so tiring, and not like 1 or 2 people to work with. Like you have to find like 5 or 10 people if you're successful, right?
At least,
and that's how you make money. So you're constantly replacing, but you're also, as you're replacing people, you're pouring everything you have into people, and it's not getting replenished. With Overcome Nation, I feel like there's so much love. And again, people that know me on my network, yours don't know how I am, but I'm very blunt. So like I wouldn't, when Tyler was telling me this, I rolled my eyes because I was like, come on. But I'm telling you, with Overcome Nation, the culture is something like there's nothing out there. The mentorship, you get poured into so much. Somebody told me before an event, you cry because you get poured into so much that you have to make room for it. And I was like, come on. And I cry and cry and cry at every event because they just give so much. So when we contrast what I went through before to now, it's like I could write 50 books on it, because it's not even just uni level. It's not even just mentorship. It's that it's just like 99% of the other companies out there. We were taught to lead on hype. We were taught to lead on emotionalism. We were taught to find that product that helps to your neighbors that you're going to sell, da, 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 da. We were taught to, you're still helping people. So it's not like I was hurting people,
right,
but you have a customer base. You're not helping, you have a side gig. You have a side hustle. You don't have a franchise where you own a franchise. You help other people talk about business acumen and learn, you know, financial education. Like people that know me, I couldn't talk about cash flow quadrants in my old business. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know what a system was. I'm not smart like that. I'm like biology smart. So now I can talk about it like that. So when we talk it's like night and day, literally, of what I went through before compared to what my life is now. Is it easy? No, but the rewards for not just myself, but person after person are amazing.
Awesome. That nailed it. Yeah, that's same thing. I was in a uni level plan, and it was a meat grinder. It was, Valerie's absolutely right. It was just a giant meat grinder, constantly replacing people. You could never really, it was really difficult for other people to gain traction. I could sponsor at will, but teaching other people to do that was so incredibly difficult. Why did you leave? Like, what was the impetus where, I mean, you're making good money, and so why did you leave? Like, and what made you come to Overcome Nation? And you've already kind of touched on it, but what was the
yeah, so I basically, so Tyler, I went to school with his wife when I was in health. And Tyler is my enroller. And so I added him to Facebook because I add everybody. I network, right? That's what I do. And so, not strangers, but like I talked to him, commented, whatever. So I added him and built a relationship. And I was like, man, this guy's pretty cool. Like, he's not posting, this is after the Beachbody thing that he did. I was like, what's he doing? And I would kind of catch glimpses of stuff. So I was like, he's pretty smart. So right away, I'm not interested in his business. I'm thinking I'm going to get that guy in my business, right? Mm-hmm. So he asked me a few times, timing was wrong. Actually, 2 weeks before I started, actually enrolled with Viseo, I had 2 major surgeries. One, they kind of made a mistake, and I had to have another one a week later. Okay. And 2 weeks later, I started. So I finally said to him, like, look, there's no other better time. I could sit and make excuses like I'm in pain, this and that, but I'm really laying in bed doing nothing. So let's get on a call. So I'm thinking in my head, let's get my business, you know, get him back. Because again, I had surgery. So during that time, I don't have this system. So I'm not making money. It's 2 weeks of my business kind of like, blah, you know. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll get Tyler in. So he says, okay, just get on the phone with me and my mentor, Tanya. And that's how I do it too. I don't say, do you want to get on a call and talk? And I just get them on, right? They want to meet this person as bad as I want to meet them. So I get on and I'm expecting the same thing. I've been on so many of these calls with another one of my senior director, and it's like, our products are the best. We have the best products in the world. Like, and trust me, Viseo has the best products in the world too. So that part didn't impress me. So I was waiting for that, didn't hear. The next thing I was waiting for was like, yeah, you know, Rick Gutman that we were telling you about, that dude, like he makes like $50,000 a week. Like you don't even have to work. You could just do whatever you want, right? That's another thing I would hear all the time. Like my best friend down the road, like she's got like a diamond business. Like everybody in network marketing knows somebody that has $1 million business, or you know of somebody on your upline that's not special and it's not cute. So I didn't want to hear it. So I got on the phone, and Tanya, who, if you guys know Tanya, she speaks from her heart. She is like Mama Canada. She is real and she's blunt, but very sweet. And so she tells me how she's a teacher, and at 39, she retired. And again, I'm thinking, okay, whatever, like, you know, so many people do. And she starts telling me about why she came out of retirement with this Dallin Larson and Daniel. And again, she keeps saying to me, like, I know, I probably sound like I'm over talking them and stuff. You just have to meet them. And at the time I'm thinking, yeah, you are, like, you really are over talking them, you know? And then I met Daniel and I've met Dallin, and I've spoken to them several times on the phone and met them in person a few times. And like, you can't over exaggerate these guys. They pour from the heart. So I started hearing about that. But what really sort of caught my eye, the first thing was that they had, there's about 20 legacy companies, and a legacy company means that it's gone to $1 billion, right, in network marketing. There's about 40,000 network marketing companies. 20 or 21 have gone to $1 billion, and Dallin Larson created 2 of those and is on his way to 3. He's the only person to do that. So I was like, people don't, I'm a smart person. I know people don't do that by mistake. Maybe once, okay, but not twice, not 3 times, right? So I was kind of listening, but still in my head thinking, I'm going to get this guy into my business. He's smart. He seems to know what's up. He's not hyping me up, right? He's not telling me he wants me on his team and I'm going to be the best and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. So then she's telling me about, she says, like, you know, Overcome Nation Business School is something they don't have. And I said, what? She says, Overcome Nation Business School. And I said, well, what is it? And she says, you know, like, we have a business school that teaches regular, normal people, whether you have 50 years experience in business or 0 years in anything and dropped out of school, like Frank, one of our mentors, right? And I'll just speak on Frank for a minute. Frank owns 22 multi-million-dollar businesses outside network marketing and never graduated grade 7. So in our business, that's what happens. So Tanya's telling me that, like, we bring any person, it doesn't matter who it is, and put them and plug them into the system and teach them true business acumen so that they can teach other people. And I was like, well, what do you guys do? Like, every other company out there sells products, pushes products. Even if they say they don't sell products, they sell products and stuff like that, right? And we're in Canada, like, we don't even have retail here. So she says, no, we literally, you know, teach financial education in the network marketing space by utilizing an invisible franchise. And I was like, okay, what? And so she starts talking about how, because again, I don't know all these words and whatever, right? So she says, well, think about Uber. Everybody knows Uber, right? Uber comes out of nowhere. It's an invisible franchise, and it's the top ground transportation thing in North America, right? Billions or millions of dollars, and they don't own one taxi. Same with Amazon, right? They are the top, like the dude that owns Amazon, he's like for sure richest or top 5 richest in the world. And he doesn't own one retail department store or anything, right? So invisible franchises are what's with the future. So when I was on the phone, I know that too. I know real estate used to be good. I know now it's expensive because you have to portfolio, you have to go there, you have to maintain, you have to physically fly, you have to do all that. So I was like, kind of makes sense because it's the internet. So again, that kind of caught my eye. And then she spoke about how these mentors have actually been there and done it before. So they're not just people that are saying like, hey, Ben, you know, I'm going to teach you how to make like 150 grand. So just go do this, and then you can go do this, and then go do that, and then you'll have it, right? And I hate to say it because my family's all teachers, but like kind of like teachers in school.
Yeah.
But if you want to learn how to make $50,000, ask somebody who's making $50,000. If you want to learn how to make $300,000 a year, $500,000 a year, talk to somebody who's making that and knows how to do it and knows how to show other people, right? Because somebody who's made 50,000 can't teach you how to make 300, or they'd be doing it themselves.
Right, right.
So basically, that was the turning point for me. I heard that there's this business school. I can actually plug not just my team because they have rules, you know, with network marketing, but everybody. So people that I love, people that are family, people that are friends into the system, and they're going to have success. And the reason I know they will is because this isn't a new thing that they're throwing at us. They actually have the retention to back it up, the top retention in the industry. They actually have the numbers to back it up. They actually can show me paychecks of person after person after person doing it. So it's not anything that is, you know, fake or hype or that's going to go away. It's just going to keep getting better. So I instantly, sounds crazy, that exact day, went downstairs, told my husband that I was leaving that income. He's like super supportive of whatever I do. And in an hour, Tyler tried to say, I'll call you tomorrow. We'll talk, da-da-da, because you know how we don't push people and bug people. I go, no, you're not calling me tomorrow. Like, you're doing this right now. Like, I'm ready. I want to do this. I have a brain and a heart. And when they both make sense, then I know it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So that's like 5 months ago. And I haven't looked back.
I love it. I love it. That was kind of the same thing with me. Jennifer Powers and I were talking, and I think we did a 3-way call with Christine Keegan, and they were at the end. They're like, "Oh, so where are you at?" I'm like, "All right, well, show me where to sign up. Let's go. Let's do it." Like, I don't.
Yeah, let's do it if it makes sense, right?
Yeah, totally. Okay, so from the perspective of somebody with the kind of lifestyle that you have, with like kids who have special needs and stuff like that, what are you most excited about that Overcome Nation and Viseo are bringing to you that are allowing you to create that duplication and create that business and that lifestyle for you? What looks like one thing that really is setting it apart for you?
Like literally the system, the education, because usually you have to do that. Anybody that's watching and you know from previous companies, like when month end comes, it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do month end? You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. Month end, I'm like sitting, having a glass of wine, chilling, because it's the same as any other day, right? Because you have a system in place that's working for you. You don't do the training. You don't make up a new idea. You don't throw spaghetti at the roof and hope something sticks and your team's going to figure it out. These guys already figured it out for us.
Yep.
So that's it, the system. We say it over and over and over, but it's true. It's like anything. It's like McDonald's, and I use McDonald's because it's the top franchise, I think, arguably in the world, right? And the only reason it works is because of the system they have, right? So that's what we have, and that's what I'm able to confidently plug anybody into and know that if they're willing to do it, they're going to have results.
I love that. I absolutely love that. That's my favorite thing too. And kind of what brought me back, because I was done. I was like, all right, I'm done with network marketing. It's not for me at this time in my life with these kids and the schedule. I just can't fit it in. But the system really is duplicatable, and the fact that it's all online makes it so much easier, so that at like 2 o'clock in the morning when my kid just went to sleep, I can watch a video and catch up on everything that I need to do. And it's so helpful. Jodie, you crushed.
And it's all, I just want to touch on that too, just as you said that, sorry, but is that with the library of the business school, that's something as well that I didn't mention, but it's so true. Normally before, when I did trainings and stuff, it was always at a certain time. You would post a video, you don't know where it goes, people would lose it. With this, all of our videos, there's like 500, almost just under 500 hours. And they're all labeled. So like you're having a bad day and you want to search something, look it up. You want to know what MLM framework is, look it up. You want to know, how to push to the next level, look it up. Literally every single one is on a live, and it's in units in our group. So you can just look it up with these. We also have a website where they're all on. So which Jen, obviously we were just talking about, but Jen helped with that. She's amazing. I love her. And but yeah, so I mean, on top of that, you can access all of this information at any time. That's what's really key is you don't need somebody, you don't need to be like down on people like, all right, so did you do your approaches today? Did you do that? Da, da, da. The people that want to do this business, the people that are successful and use the system have all the tools they need to do it on their own.
Right.
One thing I heard the other day that I wanted to reiterate, Rick said to me on the phone, it was funny. He says, like when people complain about like what leg placement they're on, you know, like it hasn't happened. My team's not big enough yet, but you know, like overall, like even in uni level and whatever, it's like McDonald's doesn't say, well, the one down the street isn't helping me. Like I need them to help me. They got to sell more burgers today because I need help. It's like, no, they hold up their same system. They make the same burgers as everybody else. They do the same work. They have the same staff. They do the same things, but they benefit from theirs. You benefit from yours. Everybody owns their own franchise, and that's the beauty of it. And that's something I have a hard time letting go of coming from uni level, where you feel like you have to like, you know, be on and helping, but more like bugging, helping people and so on. Whereas now I'm realizing it's a franchise, people own their own business and they're either going to do it or they're not, right? So that's what I love about this. Everybody has the tools right at their fingertips to use whenever they want.
Yeah, there's surely no pressure, which I really, really appreciate.
Right.
Because you're right, in that uni level marketing mindset, like there is pressure because you're like, look, dude, if you're not going to go, I'm sponsoring somebody else, and that's not going to help you.
Right.
I'm moving on. Like next. Whereas now I'm like,
but
yeah,
it doesn't affect
that's
them.
fine. I'm going to just put somebody underneath you and keep going, and it's going to help you while you figure out and take your time to figure out what you need to do and grow and develop. And I love that. I love being able to build somebody's business and not put any pressure on them to do it. I love that.
Yeah. And it's adding to them. Like there's a lady on our team, Elizabeth, her and her husband and they work at their own pace, but they have founders, they have whatever, but she's got almost diamond. I think it's like ruby. I can't remember exactly, but definitely over blue sapphire on one side. Like so many people don't have that option, right? So sometimes I hear people say like, oh, you know, especially with uni level again, like worried about this and that. But like you said, their business is constantly growing, whether they're working actively or if they're going to actively work in years or if they're going to actively, you know, it's always there for them. And that's encouraging too. So you're having a rough time in your life or your kids are having a rough time or something's going on, you still have that business being created that you can always fall back on, right?
Right. Yep. Totally. I love that. And that gives me a lot of peace knowing, you know, with my life, look, anything crazy can happen for anybody, but knowing that like, okay, like my kids are having a rough week and, you know, we're going to have to spend a little more time in the hospital or therapies or whatever. My business is going to continue to grow as just because of the nature of how things are structured here. That brings me so much peace at night. I sleep better knowing that, you know, and that's huge. So, okay. One takeaway, last thing, takeaway. What would you recommend for somebody who has never been involved in network marketing before, doesn't have our experience, doesn't know what, you know, but they have some of these issues that we've talked about. What do you recommend for them to do? Where do they start? Where do they go? What do they do?
Okay, so that's an awesome question because lots of people don't know. So I say, open your heart and listen. And if your ears will listen, right? And you'll see things. But if you open your heart, you could hear and find out what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And Tyler told me that when I started, and it's always stuck with me because you really don't know what you don't know. I would sit there, like, not arrogant, but like, really, it is kind of arrogant, thinking like, I'm not doing that and I'm not doing that. And I know people see network marketing that have never done it and think the same thing. But if you don't know, you don't know. You have nothing to lose by getting educated. You have nothing to lose by finding education, learning about exponential growth. The biggest thing I hear with people, especially with special needs, like you said, like yourself, or with, you know, anything, the biggest thing that I hear people say is, I'm busy. Let me tell you a secret. We don't look for franchise owners that aren't busy. We don't look for business partners that aren't busy. We want to partner with busy people because busy people are productive. Yep. But that being said, one of the 7, and there's 8 strengths coming, right? But one of the 7 strengths is time strengths. So Rick teaches us. So he literally, if you're a busy person, you feel like you never know what's going on, every day runs into the next, you know, your kids are always sick, you're going to appointments, or you're going to appointments, or you're going to work 9 to 5, or you're just busy and every day runs into the next. There is a solution for that. Lots of people think adding something to your plate is going to make it worse, but if you do it properly, it actually frees up time for you. It teaches you how to utilize pockets of time, and it gives you the confidence in areas of your life that you wouldn't have. So I guess what I would just close with is saying, what if you don't know, you don't know. And I'm going to say, as I see Megan coming on, she was my biggest skeptic in network marketing this whole time for like since I started. One of my friends, she's like my work mom, I always say, and she's my new business partner, and I'm super excited. So, you know, she didn't listen before, and I don't mean that derogative. She knows, and I love her, but she just thought it was the same as everybody else and everything else. And I don't blame people for thinking that due to what's going on in the network marketing world, right? But there are people like the 1%, like Overcome Nation, not even just for sale, but actually Overcome Nation, where you're taught to lead with financial education, you're taught to lead with stuff that makes sense, and then it just does, right? So if you don't know, you don't know. But if you're looking for something that's missing in your life, I guarantee that if you open up your heart and, you know, reach out to Ben, reach out to whoever it is, you're going to be very pleasantly surprised with the options. And again, network marketing isn't for everybody. So if you check it out, you hear it, it's not for you. Nobody's hounding you. Nobody's bugging you for support sales. Nobody's anything like that. We don't do that garbage. But we do want you to be able to have a better quality life like we live, right? Is it easy? No. But is it worth it? Yes, because we're going to have a future for our kids that nobody else is going to be able to provide. But I really, really love doing lives with you again. Thank you so much for having me on. We have to do it again soon.
Yes.
We'll pick a different color next time. I can rock something cool too. I'll figure something out.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jodie. You were amazing. I know you brought so much value to so many people. I appreciate it so much. And we are definitely going to do this again. Thank you.
No problem. Take care, buddy. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.